Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Megaman X4. In the last part, we beat the 4th Maverick, and that triggers this event. We have to come here and fight Colonel. By the way, I'm just going to be silent because there is a nice little line I do like from Colonel here.
I've been waiting to fight with you.
The before battle quotes like that aren't that bad at voice acted. It's the in-game cutscene dialogue that's kind of laughable. But anyway, this fight with Colonel can actually be rather tricky. As far as I remember, he's only weak against the X-Buster. But that's only if I remember correctly. It's because I haven't played this game in about 2 or 3 years that I just decided to Nova Strike him to death. Or near death. Oh, and this is a nice little piece of trivia. Even though I have the ultimate armor, the X's portrait is actually the normal armor for some reason. They didn't give him an ultimate armor picture until I think X5, maybe X6. Anyway, next on the weakness chart is... I had to check online really quick. Next in line, if I remember correctly, is Web Spider, that's right. So, after pretty much what is half the game, we're finally heading back to here, to the location where we got the ultimate armor. Now, Web Spider protects the secret weapon of the jungle. Which is, if I remember correctly, if you look in the background of the actual boss fight, some sort of gigantic space laser? Oh man, I love the way this level looks. I always have. Then again, I've always just been a fan of jungle areas in video games. Whether it be Devil May Cry 4 overall, or just this. I mean, tell me, to this day, I still think that water looks impressive for 2D game standards. So, yeah, really, until right after this hole, there's not really going to be anything new. We've seen all of it before the first hole. We've seen everything here before. Now we get to the new stuff. By the way, I hate these merman robots so much. Not that they're annoying or damaging, it's just that... Well, it's not that they take that much to kill either, it's just that I hate how random their attack pattern can seem to be. Now you have little platform sections which make no physical sense. These things should not be going this slow down a waterfall. But like with all platforming sections, if you have the Nova Strike, it is pathetic. And that's the end of the first area. It's pretty damn easy, to be honest. And now we have the second area, which is a bit more... For some reason I thought I was playing Mega Man 04 and I thought I could burn the trees. That's not... There is stuff you can burn in this area, in this level, but that's not until later down in this part of it. And now Repel Force is using bees. Bees. My god. As for why they're using bee robots to try and destroy X and Zero, I don't know. That seems kind of like a serious design flaw. And now we have the stuff that we can do in this area, which is burn these little tree stumps. There are 3 of them in total. The second one, which is right over here, contains this level's heart tank. Oh. And then there's this one which just serves to be a nice little shortcut. You skip a couple webs doing that, if I remember correctly. And now this is the Twin Slicer. Apparently this is this boss's weakness, but for some reason the X-Buster always seems to do more damage for me, personally. And apparently it's supposed to make the Web Spider fall, but it didn't. I don't know why. But yeah, there is the weapon that he's guarding. It's some sort of gigantic cannon. Or plane. Oh my god, that's what it is. I'm just now realizing this. This actually may be a certain area later on in the game. Whether I've just realized some conspiracy where this is... Because that may be, if I'm thinking of the right thing. That thing looks suspiciously like what is the final levels of the game, so... That may actually be a space base. Or a base in the middle of space, or a giant space laser. I'll have to pay attention during the ending cutscene to see if it really is. But the ending cutscene won't be for another 3 parts or so, or at least for X. Because I am doing both playthroughs, as I've said before. And if you guys think I'm having an easy time Zero, I mean X, Zero is going to be quite a bit harder. Now, actually, for some reason, I always went for this guy first when I first played this game. I'm not sure why, because he's actually a bit more difficult than you should be facing. I recommend if you guys are playing on this first, don't go for Magma Dragoon like I did unless you know about the right armor and how to use it properly. Otherwise, just go for Frost Walrus first. He's actually rather weak against the X-Buster. And he's dead. Another really big explosion for absolutely no reason. And that's the end of this level. And we get Lightning Web, which not only actually shoots a web that stays there and shocks, but when it's staying after it makes contact with an enemy first, you can also use it as a platform to jump on. And now we go and take on the Split Mushroom, who occupies a laboratory and will attack whoever the fuck visits there. Not that that should be much of a threat, because with his weakness, this guy is the easiest boss in the game. Although his stage, the first part of each half of his stage, is the laziest, in my opinion. This is literally it. Just this graphic recycled over and over again until you reach a castle at the top, and it's maybe green and red now, but it'll be like purple and blue in a couple of minutes when we get to the second half of the stage. So other than that, the major gimmick of these stages is these little platforming sections and a couple of vertical sections. In fact, I think this is the stage that has the only vertical sections in the game. But I remember I haven't played this game in 2 or 3 years, and I forgot I edited it out of death there, actually, because the ready doesn't usually show there. Yeah, and in case you're wondering why I edited out to death, it's because I found out those spikes on the wall there are instant death. I've never been hit by them, so I didn't know that. It's because, to be honest, they're not all that hard to avoid. In fact, this game is overall, if you know what you're doing, like if you barely know what you're doing, it's still rather hard to die in. Just need to make sure to know to. Just need to really not take too many foolish hits. As long as you keep moving, you're good. Although if you have the Nova Strike, keep on moving is pretty much too easy to explain. And now we have this mini boss, which is strange, is the best way I can describe it. Pretty much, it'll go to underneath whatever platform you're standing on, shoot spikes, and destroy the platform. That means that this boss is also under some sort of a kind of invisible time limit, because he will destroy all the platforms if needed, and those spikes are instant death. But luckily, I know what I'm doing, and I know that the plasma shot is the best shot of the 2 busters. You know, it's the one the ultimate armor comes with automatically. And I know I'm just now getting into this, but there are 2 buster types in the game. There is the one I'm using right now, which is the plasma shot, which is not only powerful, but leaves a lingering effect for a short time, which can do a lot of hits considering the invulnerability period given from it is very short. And then there's the quadra shot, as I like to call it. Pretty much, when you charge up your charge shot, it charges up 4 at once, so you can shoot 4 in a row at any point. Anyway, now we have this stage's hard tank. Get up there. What you're supposed to do is jump from the top of that platform up, but since I failed, I need to use this again. Ah, that's nice. Now, this is actually surprisingly one of the harder parts of the game, because these guys drill down on these, and they will crush you to death if you're in between them and another platform, or if they drag you down, they will kill you. So be careful with that, bud. Like, there, I almost died. I was maybe like a frame, maybe 2 frames away from getting killed instantly. And now we have, surprisingly, one of the very few elevator sections in this game. Usually, Mega Man games have at least one elevator. Well, at least the X games do. Mega Man Classic doesn't really have these, except for Mega Man 5. And that's really the end of the stage. Sorry I was quiet there, I got momentarily distracted. That didn't really miss much, I just missed the elevator. Now it's time to fight Split Mushroom. And this is by far one of the weirdest bosses in the series as well, but he's also one of the easiest if you have as a weakness. Don't do what I just failed at doing there and shoot it directly at him like that. You'll get him into a stun lock where he'll always fall to the ground and jump to the opposite wall. From what I remember, this boss is quite a bit harder with Zero, so that'll be fun when I get to that. And also, I don't think I forget if I think I did point this out in part 1 when I was fighting Magma Dragoon, but if you notice, the majority of the Mavericks, if you can call them Mavericks really, have the Repliforce insignia, which is that R underneath their life bar. But notice that this guy, Magma Dragoon, and another boss coming up have had a different sigil. Wonder whose that is, even though I already know, considering for A, I played this game millions of times, and B, he never fucking fails to show up for these games. How does he seriously coming back? I never understood that. And we get Soul Body, which allows you to pretty much make a rainbow version of yourself. But the charge out of it actually allows you to make another version of you that'll go away after a while, just like the normal ones, except you can freely control it. And now we're after Cyber Peacock. It was one of my favorite stages, actually. He who lives in cyberspace and wants to destroy the network system. Cyberspace? Are we going into Mega Man Battle Network? Oh, I wish. I love that series. Now, this is arguably one of the more unique, and at the same time, one of my favorite areas overall in the game. I don't do what I'm about to do and use the web. Use the Soul Body, so you can get past all these things, because they will be taken out by one hit. Pretty much, throughout this entire level, you are timed to get to these doors. You can get ranked A through, I think, D, S through D. Getting an S on the first one gets you a hard tank. And then there's the second section. Pretty much the best advice I can give for these is to use the Soul Body in front of you. And don't be an idiot like I am right there. That's the Soul Body. As you can see, it takes these things out in one hit because it's replicating you. For getting an S rank on the second one, you get an E-Tank. And then it's time for the third and final section. This, which is the longest one by far, but at the same time is actually still rather easy. These are actually all really easy sections. But you need to be. But if you're going for but if you're not using the ultimate armor, you're gonna want to not fail and get hit twice by these things like I do in this. Or is it 3 times? But don't pretty much only get hit once by these things in this part of this stage. It'll save you a lot of effort because the reward for the first one is a hard tank, like you saw, and the second one's an E-Tank. But this one, if you're not getting the ultimate armor, results in, if you get an S rank, gives you one of the armor parts. I forget which one. And you can tell when you're not getting when you lost your grade when it says "hurry up" below you. And I wasn't able to show up that area where you get a final piece. Now we have this, which has dimension slipping, flipping things straight out of Mega Man Well, not straight out of anything really. Still an overused concept, but I swear to God, some of the sound effects in this area are straight out of Megaman 8, which this is the spiritual successor to. Overall, considering this a certain cutscene we'll be seeing next part. God, I hate the voice acting in that one. And we're already at the boss fight. Cyber Peacock is weak against the Soul Body, and I'm just showing off the charge shot because it's the only time I'll use it. Sends yourself out, and you can pretty much just shoot. I wonder if it would affect his weakness. Actually, I never tried it. Oh, and one thing I can't believe I'm only bringing it now. When you use the Nova Strike, it reverts you back to the X-Buster. And, Cyber Peacock has the same sigil as Split Mushroom and Magma Dragoon. This is odd. But yes, this is actually still a rather easy boss fight. Just keep on doing what I'm doing, and you should take him or her out rather easily. Actually, I forget, did it say it was a he at the beginning of the stage? Because this is Run Robot Master. Because I barely ever read the text. I just played the game. I'm never really sure what gender some of these guys are. And again, from what I've heard, all the Mavericks are... No, I'm... thinking... actually, yeah, so far as I remember, all the Mavericks in the series are male. Even the Sunflower boss from X8 is male, even though it sounds like female. Then again, females voicing male characters, at least certain male types of characters, isn't uncommon. Anyway, as we get Aiming Laser, which I only will use in the next stage, really. Thank you guys for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And as I save for the third time, I'll see you guys next time when we take on Storm Owl, I want to say his name is, and then we start Endgame. There's only 2 things left to find. See you guys then.